Dear ladies, welcome. I am thrilled to be in conversation with these lovely, talented, spunky women who don't think too much, just do it. And the way they have been doing it is amazing. It's awesome as always. Pariniti Chopra, Tapsi Pannu, Pranal Thakur, Vanita Sandhu, and Nishrat Darucha. How are you guys doing?
Woohoo! Very good, very good.
Good,
Very
very good.
well.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
let's
very
jump in right now. The first question that I want to ask you is this year has been different for many people in different ways. What has been your takeaway? And the most important thing is what is the shift in the industry that you see in the way they operate now after the pandemic?
For me personally, I think I can answer this in two categories really, personal and professional. Personally, I feel most of us have gone through a very similar shift. Um, as in, I'm seeing this trend in most people that, a lot of people are, compartmentalizing their lives, really focusing on their lives, living a better life. And it made everybody think, 2 years ago when we would tell any one of these girls, listen, you need to cancel your birthday party, it was a big deal. And today we very easily take these calls and say, you know what, I need to prioritize my family. I need to prioritize my own work. I also want to work. We are all ambitious. But I think a lot of people have started prioritizing living life well because the uncertainty of life has really come in the forefront. Professionally, also, I'm seeing that a lot of people are not just running fast nowhere, they are walking slowly somewhere. I think a lot of people are really focusing on quality work. I'm sure everybody wanted to do good work before, but I think now there's a huge focus in spending your time and energy in the things that you really only want to, and work your hardest. I think that whole sitting at home for a bit and thinking has really given clarity to a lot of people. But we are Indians, and we tend to forget very easily some things, so I just hope that this discipline and this wonderful approach to life continues.
So I think it's this extension of Pari's answer. I think it will be same for actually most of us, I believe, because we have learned to live in the present because of this, because we never know what's going to happen in the future anyway. So it's like, you better live your fullest in the present because nothing is in your control what's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow might just surprise or shock you. So make the most of today is how my perception of life has changed. Already I was trying really hard to follow that mantra, but it actually came into existence for me in my practical life because of the lockdown. And I think that's the same thing professionally. I feel in the industry that has changed because nobody now wants to plan in a very solid way what's going to happen exactly 1 year from now. They'll very tentatively plan it, but not like hardcore, okay, it will happen this date only and this month only. And they're like, okay, roughly somewhere around this quarter, we will try to approach it or reach this target. But not very hardcore long-term planning is happening in the industry right now. It's more like, let's think about the present, the next 1 or 2 or 3 max months, and then like take it from there and see how it's going to happen. So that caution is there in the industry as well.
I absolutely agree with Pari and Tapsi. My biggest takeaway is just to go with the flow and just accept the way things are shaping up. The biggest benefit as of now is the OTT platforms, like all of us film, they all have come on like OTT platform, and to be able to reach out to audience, that's like, as an entertainer, as a performer, that's my first thing in my mind. Like, how do I reach out to my audience? And I think the only thing that kept me going was this OTT platform. The films were releasing, the entertainment was on. So I'm really happy that in spite of COVID, the work has, obviously we all miss going to the theaters and watching the films there. Things are opening up right now, slowly. I'm really happy about that. But glad that as an entertainer, that process never stopped.
I'm a very complicated person. I actually complicate my life on my own so much. And I think that's a talent. And like, really, people around me will tell you, she knows how to complicate things out of nowhere. So in the lockdown, I just went reverse. I became simple. My life became getting up in the morning and buying sabji and bhaji and groceries and bread and milk for the whole family, to what to cook for lunch, and when to clean and when to hang clothes and when to go back and make the dinner. And I went down to doing basics of running a life on just, mujhe na bahut long back, my grandmother had said this to me, that the day you start worrying about how much milk has to come into the house and how much eggs are being consumed and how much bhindi needs to come, half your problems in your head will get solved there. Because you don't do this everyday work of running a house or just basic simple things of survival, not just running a house, even your own life.
True.
I complicate things out of nowhere. So I think for 1.5 years of the lockdown, I've just led a very simple life. So I don't know how I became that simple person. And it was just so refreshing that I would get tired at the end of the day, and I'm like, I don't want to know what's happening around. I don't want to know where who's doing what. I just like the fact that the lockdown has brought me back to a very simple sort of life, and I'm going to hold on to that because it just made me really happy.
I think, like everyone said, I really do believe the pandemic has hastened the direction the industry was anyways moving in. There was already a shift happening towards OTT.
Yeah.
And now it just obviously accelerated so much because we were locked at home. It's opened up everyone to world cinema. And I think that's incredible for the Hindi film industry in particular. I'm British, I work in Europe, I work in India, I work in the US. Obviously with the pandemic, it's made it a little more difficult for me to work internationally, but at the same time, I'm able to watch so much more content that's diverse and hear and watch so many more stories. So I think it's, obviously there are pros and cons to not having a theatrical release, but I do see it as a very productive and positive thing. It's better than nothing. Imagine if we didn't have streaming.
Sure, of course. So people have better taste, actually. Let's put it this way, and it's great for industry as well, right? So, listen, all of you this year have done projects with where you have portrayed very strong roles, characters. Sandeep or Pinky Farrar, of course, Rashmi Rocket, amazing film. I really liked her Haseen Dilruba as well, where it was a great character, and Ronald Yu in Tufan, and several films and several characters. Now, there are a lot of women writers, female writers that are emerging. We have women like Atika Chauhan, Ghazal Dhaliwal, Juhi Chaturvedi, and of course Kanika Dhillon, who wrote both the films of Taapsee this year. Atika said to me that if you want women characters to be popular and be strong as a genre, please promote us, the female writers, because what we can add to that character is the experiential writing, right? What we have experienced as women, we put it there. Do you think that in order for you to get better roles, it's good for more female writers to come onto the game?
100%. It's a question of autonomy and agency. I studied literature in university, so I understand how important it is to write from your own perspective and your own experience. And when someone who hasn't lived the life of someone they're writing, it's very difficult to write it from an empathetic perspective. Oftentimes female characters can be objectified or ornamental in movies, and a lot of the time that is because of writing that isn't as empathetic as it would come from a female writer, for example. So I think it's incredibly important. Even in the UK, I've been saying we need a lot more minority writers to portray like our experiences as like Asian, Indians, Asians across the world, rather than having white people write our stories, because it always tends to be very stereotypical, and I think that dehumanizes characters on screen, and it's quite flat and boring to watch, if I'm being honest.
Sure. Taapsee?
I don't know if I am very definitive on either side of this question. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Even though Kanika has written, say, Haseen Dilruba, it's Vinil's medium. And even though Kanika wrote dialogues for Rashmi, it is Akarsh's medium. And the other two writers were men in the film. So I feel it's very important to have a rounded perspective, because it's not just for the sake of female characters, it's also for the men, the female gaze. Eventually, you are catering to the 100% audience and not just 50%, that is the men, right? So if I'm seeing a film where I am seeing a film being a female, my gaze of the man will be slightly different from the male audience probably. So if you have a female writer as well, that gaze might become more holistic, more rounded, where you'll also have an input from a female point of view, how this character can possibly be or react. Okay, so for a more rounded perspective, my most beautiful characters have been directed by men, be it Thappad Anubhav Sinha, be it Manmarziya with Anurag Kashyap. I've had men who've made my characters, the way they were. Even Pink, for that matter, was actually written and directed by men.
True.
When you get a woman writer, there are certain areas of being a woman that men haven't ventured into, certain areas, especially my personal experience when it has come to especially showing female sexuality.
Hmm.
Okay, what does a female want?
Hmm.
Her intimate life to her sexual need, for that matter.
Hmm.
It's an area where men want to venture, they do venture, but to their, I mean, giving them benefit of doubt that they probably don't know it as holistically and totally as a woman would.
Okay.
So when a woman writes it, it doesn't go either too sleazy or too shallow. It becomes right in
Right.
middle. Whereas when a man sometimes tend to attempt it, might go either way. So that is where I feel a female in certain sections or certain angles of womanhood, I think, are catered better with woman writer. Whereas I don't think it's only when woman writer comes in that a woman character can be in the forefront. In my experience, it's been a combined effort of men and women. It's you can't drive with just one wheel. I mean, you need it to be together in sync, I feel.
Absolutely.
No, I honestly think that what she said is, if you look at it from a different perspective, maybe you need a different gaze even for your male actors and male characters. So maybe a female writer can give you a different gaze for a male film.
In my experience, both my films, which Kanika has written, Man Marzi and Haseen Dilruba, if you see the men in the film, they are vulnerable. They cry. they have emotions. They are not macho and always like tearing their shirt apart and saving the mankind. They're not always like this. They have all the shades.
Right.
So I think
And that
is
a woman writer brought in, right?
yeah, that a
See,
woman.
that's
So
what I'm
so
saying.
there's a holistic approach. Holistic. Like in totality, the character becomes well rounded when you have a woman as well. But at the same time, because there's a guy, there was also a man at the helm as the director. He could also cater to the male gaze. So it was a combined effort, is what I'm trying to say.
I'm a bit more of a balanced feminist when it comes to discussions about men and female roles in the world today. I just feel that the more we point out and the more we underline how women have not been in the forefront, I know we're doing it with the intention of spreading awareness, but I feel like we tend to trivialize women even more. Like I've always said this, that why do we call it woman oriented film? Like, why don't we call it male oriented? I just feel like there's always a special mention that is made by a woman to another woman to say, wow, you being a woman did this. So I just feel like, I know our intention is clean and I know we're doing it for awareness, but I just feel that the more we discuss and underline things, we tend to throw light on that gap, and I feel like the way to solve is just to do, just let our work speak. And maybe 50 years from now, or hopefully 10 years from now, there won't be this discussion.
I think the power of it is to normalize it. We don't realize it.
Yeah, like Tapsi said, for me also, some of my best characters have been like written and directed by the most sensitive men, like Divakar Banerjee for Sandeep or Pinky Farrar, or Habib Faisal for Ishaq Zadeh, or whatever. Like I can't even think of all my films, but I'm saying all those characters gave even more importance sometimes to the woman than the man. Same Vinil, I got directed by Vinil Matthew in Hasi To Fasi, and he made the girl's character even more like stronger than the man's character. So I feel that it's not a female and male thing, it's a talent thing, it's an experience thing. Whoever writes the most rounded characters will always win.
I think I'm just going to take a moment to celebrate all these directors who have written this and the writers who have written this strong women. And I'm really new to this industry, and all the characters that I've played in the past are very strong, powerful. When I go back, when I used to study a few films which were made in the 90s or late 80s, I'm happy that we've made that transition, that shift, at least that girls are not being chased by the boys to say yes. There were times, there were movies where girls were chased and they were forced to say yes to be in a relationship. At least that is not the case. Especially in Tufan, the briefing that I had from Rakesh sir was, you're the boss. You speak your emotions. And the very small thing, like, I don't know if you all noticed, but in the film, the girl asked the guy out, not the guy asking the girl out. It's such a small difference. Yes, it's the girl who kisses the boy first, not the boy. So I'm happy that these are small things and these characters have been written. And thank you for all those filmmakers like, Rakesh Om Prakash Mehra or be it Tabriz Nurani, who allowed, who introduced such strong characters like Sonia or Ananya. And I'm really happy to be entering industry in this phase or this time. And also a special mention to a big thank you to Tapsi and Pari, because the kind of films they choose allows us as well, because for me the doors really opened up. It wasn't like, okay, she's playing a victim or she's playing the support system. Why can't a woman, there are so many stories out there, why can't we just bring out those superheroes, those, it's just beautiful how I absolutely enjoy. I've studied the Tapsi's career, and a big thank you, Tapsi. I've told you in the past as well, but I'm really happy that we actresses also choose and take that risk. And yeah.
These are the moments like these that I find all that battle that we fought for years really worth it, because I always thought there'll be one day that someone probably will look at it and say, if she can do it, so can I. So that is a very, very beautiful moment that, when someone feels that if, she can do it, then so can I. Just all your struggle is worth it.
Yeah, it's worth it. Absolutely.
Raj said a very important thing. Let me take you back to 80s. I
Mhm.
remember in the 80s when we saw Madhuri and Sri Devi and Jayaprada, it was almost difficult to attain that height. They had to be great.
I don't know how they did it.
There was great dancers. They looked a certain way. No, you were not allowed to have short hair. Actresses never had short hair. I thought probably Priyanka Chopra was the one who started this trend a couple of years ago.
But wasn't it Sadhna Cut that was really famous?
Yeah.
Sadhna was
Just like this shot, not the bob shot. Yeah.
So that was like height of femininity was kind of needed to be a great actress and to be that ultimate pin-up heroine of the 80s and 90s. And here we are. Look at Tapsi. She's shooting an interview and she is not in makeup. We see Kunal, we see, so the way we perceive women, the sexiness involved in being a leading lady has changed. The idea and the definition of sexiness has changed. Do you agree with it?
100%. I will say this because this is an everyday struggle with, I don't know if you guys feel the same, the girls. Even when I work with hair and makeup and costume teams who've been working since 20 years versus the ones who have just started 5-6 years ago, their approach is completely different. Like I have worked with people who've worked from the 90s, and then I've worked with these younger girls who are even younger than I am and have just started, and the way they speak and their expectations of you are completely different. So to compare, the ones who have been working for the veteran artists will always say, oh my god, you are so different. And I'm sure you guys will also get these comments that you guys are so like normal. We are called normal because we don't sit like a heroine in our golden bathrobes, and we step out without makeup, or we step out without our hair being done sometimes, and they find it so out of character. They find us to be very rare because heroines are not supposed to be like this. Versus
so there's a cut and pack up in our life.
For them it's not. Yeah, for them it's not, because they have experienced heroines being heroines all the time. Like
all the time.
They will not even step out of their van without doing their hair and makeup. And I find that to be completely alien because, of course, we are in this generation. So I find that to be true of everybody. I find that to be true of the audience. I find that to be true in crew members. There is an expectation of a before and after. And even when I started my career, I was being launched by Yash Raj Films, and there was this expectation that she's going to spend a year becoming like really hot and sexy, because obviously her introduction shot is going to be in a sari in Switzerland somewhere. And then I debuted as a fat girl in Ladies versus Ricky Bell, and then I lost weight for Ishak Zadeh, and I had a gun, and like I slapped Arjun, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, she's doing things that are so different." But I just felt like that felt completely relevant to me. You know, if I was in a sari or whatever, I would have probably felt a little, out of character. So I just feel that this is all happening because things are moving so fast. In the last 20 years, so much has changed. I remember even 5 years ago, the director had to tell me, is film mein kissing scene hai. Are you okay with it? And I would say, yes, sir, I'm okay with it. There would be a discussion. Like, I don't know if you guys went through the same thing.
Yeah.
And today, like, you're probably told on the day of the scene, acha, next scene, jo kissing scene hai, wo hum aise karenge. There's no discussion also.
It's normal.
And I love it. I love it that things are changing so fast. I'm seeing it in my like 9 years in the industry. I'm seeing such a quick jump. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But Pari, I think that also is possible because nowadays the audience have become very alert. They like to watch something that's relatable.
Yeah.
And that's
absolutely
why
right.
whenever they watch something like a movie or a series, they want to relate with the character that they're watching. And maybe because, like I sometimes don't have the pressure of like dressing up, and I just go the way I am. The real I am, the better it is for me to connect with my audience. And I think that's the plus point. And I think I'm really happy to be in this phase because I don't know how I would be able to like carry that hairdo
Constantly
or like
be
dance.
that.
But listen, I love the 80s and 90s. I don't know what to do. Like, I love it. I love that whole era, that phase, those films, those songs. I know. But I'm a junkie. Like, I actually sit and binge watch it, and I really feel I should have been born then. Like, I want to do those songs, and I want to do all those hairdos and looks. But I'm both. I think I'm a spectrum of both. There's a part of me that wants to do those commercial things, and then I want to do this as well. Like, I want to do a chori as well. I don't know. So maybe that way I'm in a good space that I can do both, but I love both. I just love both. I can't.
Yeah, like I feel like even when I watch like Sharmila Tagore ji or Madhubala on screen, I just feel like, I should have gone in that
Take me
era.
there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me do
but
that emotion. Let me do that
just
song.
film wise. I mean, other than that, I don't think I would be able to handle the pressure of like, just always being like prim and proper. I don't think I would be able to do that.
Okay.
Hats off to all the women in that
I'll
era.
tell you, I was watching a roundtable of actresses in Hollywood, and they were discussing about it, that even now, even at the age of 50, when they're supposed to do a photo shoot, they still have to look sexy. Now, the question to you is, do you really have to be sexy to be powerful in cinema? Do you really have to invoke your sexiness to exert the power that you think you deserve in today's time?
Firstly, I don't understand why sexiness has to be powerful. Why can't I be powerful without being sexy? I don't understand the correlation of the two.
And I think we all
secondly,
are sexy in our own way.
I don't feel powerless on a daily basis. I don't feel powerless. I don't need the need to become more powerful, and hence I need to be sexy to become that. मुझे ये journey ही समझ नहीं आती. नहीं
I
आती.
don't
If I'm
understand. No,
sexy-
but the question is, what is sexy?
No, correct.
Are you talking only about the physicality? I don't think sexiness is only about physicality. Sexiness for me is the aura or the the energy around a person which attracts the attention of people around. For me, that is sexiness. For me, when if someone walks into a room and without saying anything, I feel like looking at that person, I think that person is sexy. Can be regardless of gender. So if that's sexiness, I think it comes along with being a star. I mean, you automatically are on the footsteps of being the star if you are sexy in that way. So that if you're asking about that is important in the profession, if you're sticking to just being an actor and don't really bother about the star side of relevance, then no, it's not really important. But if you're looking at being the star, then that sexiness, this sexiness that I'm talking about, I think it really becomes an important part. The sexiness, not about wearing something, about showing off in physically or having a certain kind of body with certain stats. No, I feel sexiness is that aura around you which attracts people around, can be of any gender.
Yeah.
I think why this question keeps coming up, because I think I answer this question 10 times a month, is because there is a cliche definition of sexy, which is showing your body, trying to seduce your hero and audience, and to be desirable sexually, and that's where you get your success from. I think that's the cliche definition that we are all aware of. I think, and this is my own
that was
learning.
sexiness, none of us will be here.
This is what I was
None of
about to
us will be
say.
here.
I think that my own learning from my own career and some of the most successful actors of the last 2-3 generations, my learning has been, it is a visual medium. People look at you, get inspired by you. If you look to the best of your ability, the character that you're playing, I think it will work. This is my learning from my career. In the sense, when I want to be glam, I should not be overweight. If I want to play an action heroine, I should not be overweight. If I'm playing a police officer, I should not be blah, 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 the cliches of it. Otherwise, your body shape does not matter. One of the most surprising successes was Dirty Picture, where Vidya was not technically cliched sexy, but I think she was mad
Very
sexy in that film.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
So it
exactly
has
why
to
I
be
mean,
part.
that's the
It's,
presence.
I think it's the
presence.
parts,
Yeah.
the parts that you play. I think that success comes from that X factor that she was talking about. And if people love you, and when people love you, they will love you in different shapes and sizes, and you can have that power in cinema. But it is a visual medium, so just look your best in and look honest and true in whatever you're playing.
Like, I love being sexy. I love it. But I don't put any connotation or meaning to it. I'm not being sexy because they need to see me like that and they need to like me, or I need to, have that popularity. I don't care. I love being sexy. So I'll be sexy. My sexy can be in a night dress. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's my definition of being sexy, which I want to be. But I don't understand why that needs to be validated by an audience perspective by saying, okay, that is my sexy and now she's going to be powerful. That I don't get. That's something that doesn't fit for me.
But I agree with Topsy in the sense that sexiness is like your aura. It's about confidence. And I think a great way to explain it is you could have the most beautiful girl with the most incredible figure on screen, but if she doesn't have confidence and aura about her, she's just going to look. Whereas you can have someone who may not fit the norm, but if they are empowered in themselves and they're confident and they have a great self-esteem, then you're just going to be drawn to that person on screen. So I really don't think sexiness is physical. I think it's about, as Tapsi said, your aura and your self-belief and confidence.
A few days ago, I got a compliment saying that, oh my God, Mrinal, your smile is so sexy. And I've realized in the last few days, I've been like shooting pictures and I've been only like posing like straight face. But then I realized that my smile is so sexy. And why am I not using that? Not everyone is blessed with a good smile. So I must, take advantage of that in a way.
Tell me, is there any habit of posturing as a member of the industry that you were observing for a very long time and lately you realized that it was not needed in the first place?
Yeah, a lot of things. To be seen
Tapsi
constantly.
and I will nod very, very
Yeah.
aggressively. Both of us will be like, हाँ, ये सच है.
To be seen constantly. To be seen everywhere.
Yeah.
Like not have a private or personal life at all. Like in the sense, like wherever you go beyond your films and your work, you still need to be seen and seen in a certain way.
Yeah.
You need to dress up like this when you go out. Your first photo shoot, like I'll give you an example. My first photo shoot after coming to Bombay from South, I was told by everyone that you need to have a very hot shot photo shoot because that's the kind of pictures PR picks up from here and are used. Okay. And I have never been the skinny kinds through my life. I've always had an athletic body. Okay. So I came and I got my photo shoot done, the first photo shoot. When I saw the pictures, I got scarred. I was like, I haven't looked worse in my life.
God.
And I didn't do a photo shoot, personal photo shoot after that for good 1.5-2 years. I was scarred. I was like, I don't think I can make it. I don't think this is my cup of tea. I don't think I can look glam. I don't think I can look sexy because these clothes are not looking good on me. And now I've realized that probably if I would have just worn the kind of stuff I feel sexy in, I feel I'm comfortable in. I would probably, those pictures would have turned out better, and I could have used them, which I didn't, that particular photo shoot. So that wouldn't have scarred me for 2 years, and that definitely was not really needed, is eventually what I came to terms with.
The biggest thing that actresses especially can go wrong with is trying to listening to a lot of people giving you examples of other actresses and making you copy them. You know, I think that is a very big mistake, and I'm myself guilty of that, where I've had these chats with people, and they have given me examples of X, Y, and Z, and you know how they have been successful wearing certain clothes, looking a certain way, or doing certain kind of films, and they tell you how it's a foolproof formula that you need to follow. And I have had 3 years of choosing work, trying to follow a template that has worked for somebody else, and realizing how uncomfortable and out of character it was for me. You know, I think you really need to, if you find success, which, you know, I found success when I was launched. If you find success, you need to very quickly analyze and understand what the audience loves about you, why you have a certain fan base, what people like about you, what have you done right that has worked, and be very adventurous with the things that you want to do, try variety and give different things to your audience, but never forget who you are. So for me, I've had 3 years of very bad films, very bad, a very low point in my career, where a lot of people suddenly felt, oh, you know, she's not acting that well, or she's not looking that good. Why? Because I was trying to be, how Taapsee said, I was trying to be that girl in that photo shoot, which is completely out of character. Whereas I've had 5 years of a blockbuster career, and I completely forgot that and started following the crowd, you know. So, I mean, I would never have had a comeback like this year if I hadn't realized what my audience, who my audience is, what my character is, and what my position is in this industry. Every actor can't do everything, but you definitely need to understand. So I think what I'm trying to say is, kaan ke kache mat ho. मैं खुद, you know, जो मैं खुद,
there is no formula.
But if you
And
have a
no
little
two
bit of
actresses.
gray matter, you can understand a little bit. Exactly.
You know, make your own formula. Like everybody
Yeah.
has to make their own formula.
Yes,
No two actresses
yes,
will
yes.
have the same kind of
Same
career.
per-
No two
Yes.
actresses will get the same kind of options at a given point in their career. You have to make your own. I don't understand what's the fun in traveling a path that is already traveled.
Already been tread. True.
Yeah.
And
so
if you
rather
are a
make
copy
something.
of that person, then anyway you're not going to make it. You have to make your niche.
No, I wanted to talk about that one habit that I fell prey to in the industry and then quickly changed. When PKP became a hit, Pyar Ka Panchnaama became a hit, I was told that I didn't do enough PR about it, or I didn't take enough from the film. And I never understood what that meant. So in the beginning, I'm like, you're right. But what do I do? What does that mean? I have no film background. I have nobody in the industry who can even guide me for 1 second. And I didn't have an agency. I didn't have an agency till last 1 month back. I was doing everything on my own, all my dates, all my scheduling, everything I did on my own. So I had nobody telling me what to do and how to do. So when someone told me you didn't do enough to take credit of that film, or you're not being talked about enough. So look at your co-actors who are headlining everything, but you're not making headlines. Something shifted in me over the last few years. And I said, you know what? It's fine if I don't make headlines. My films have to make headlines.
Should make.
And I'm happy about that. So I just shifted that. I said, I can't keep running this rat race of why is that person being talked about more? Why is that person being written about more? Why are they featuring more in places and why am I not? I think I got caught in that rut for a bit and I didn't know what to do with it. I kept feeling like there was something not right. There was something I wasn't doing enough. There was something I wasn't proactively being a part of. Just to realize that it's really not in my hands. It's really not something I can do or change if my films don't do and change it.
Your work always speaks. You know, your audience will always make sure that they praise, they talk about you. And I think that's why probably you are doing great work, like films like Chori and all, you know. So like even when I started, people in the industry, they did make sure that you gain the PR out of it. And I did not realize what exactly it was. So I was in the same what is you, Nusrat. But I think today the best thing is the social media, and audience are not blind. You know, I remember Tapsi had once said that जिसका कोई नहीं होता उसकी उसकी
जनता
जनता होती है. Correct? So I feel
Yeah.
मेरे लिए कोई ना ही सही, but at least I have my जनता who will appreciate my work, and I'm really thankful to them.
एंड मेरा सोचो, मेरे को तो प्यार का पंचनामा में कह रहे थे कि यू शुड लाइक sorry what it was a guy's film. How in that film did you expect me to outshine and the audience talk about me? They hated me, so what? I said no, wait, I'll get there, take me a while.